Yeah, after watching the film, we weren't very mechanical. We weren't very fundamentally sound, and I think what I've seen at practice didn't necessarily carry over to the field. And maybe it's just nerves and first game type jitters, but it wasn't us. And so we need to get that fixed this week, and next Saturday play a much smoother, much more poised game.
Going off that a little bit, I know you talked all offseason about Patrick making those easy plays. Does that go into that street ball? And then also off of that as well, did you feel like he took too many hits at times?
Yeah, but they weren't really his fault, so you don't want to get him hit ever. But our offensive line has to play better. Some of those plays he was forced to get out of the pocket sooner, after watching the tape. But he continued to make plays. He's playing at a high level. We got to get some of those guys in front of him to do their job a little bit better.
That concern you going into a game against a team that's notorious for blitzing all the time?
Not really, just because I know what he can do. We'll get better up front. I know that's coming, and I know what Pat can do versus a blitz or a rush or whatever. So it's good to have a quarterback that can make plays and extend plays. And I watched him in the bowl game. We didn't block anybody the entire game and still ran around and did his thing. So hopefully we're better than that, but we'll find out.
How much different is this team than the team you played in the Holiday Bowl? There's still some players around?
I'm trying to think. We tried to go back and see him. I know Reggie Davis had a touchdown in that Holiday Bowl, but not many. It's basically an entirely new team, so that won't have much of an impact, I don't think.
Is there anything you're going to take from that game, the Holiday Bowl?
No, that was a long time ago. Completely different teams, and so I think Coach Graham's evolved a lot on both sides of the ball, and we have too.
Have you looked at any film of them, and can you talk about their offense and defense for us?
Yeah, I think offensively, they have a dual threat quarterback, very good athlete, a great running back. Coach Lindsey, the offensive coordinator, I was a big fan of what he did at Southern Miss, and he's doing a good job there. So they'll be tough to stop. Defensively, some really good pass rushers, a good secondary. The one corner had a bunch of interceptions last year, so it'll be a step up in competition, that's for sure, and we'll have to play well.
What's your fondest memory from that 2014 Holiday Bowl, just getting your first bowl victory and capping off an 8-5 season?
I mean, I really don't remember it that well, kind of day to day. So I just remember winning the game. That was it.
Do you think there was an emotion you felt at all just during that moment, in your first season as a head coach, and ending things the way that you did?
I don't think so. I mean, I remember being happy for the seniors just because we were new to them, and they really bought in and played hard for us.
What is Hinton and Gary Moore's status? Are they expected to practice?
They are. They'll practice today. Very minor type injuries.
Seems like at times on Saturday the defensive line really set the tone for the defense. So what do you think about their challenge going up against a dual threat quarterback and being able to keep him in contain?
Yeah, they'll have to be very responsible in their assignments and their techniques, and like you said, we can't let them get outside and make plays, and they'll run them a bunch, and so it'll be a different game for them than it was last week when you had more of a pocket passer.
Were you happy with the breakdown of run to pass the last game, and is that something that you'll maintain going into this week?
I'd like to run it a little bit more if we could, but if they're going to take away the run in numbers, then we're going to throw it every play. And when you got a guy like Pat, you put the ball in his hands that many times, good things are going to happen.
After getting a chance to look at film, what did you feel like how your receivers played? Obviously, a lot of guys got to get some snaps.
Yeah, I think they played okay. Not great on depths of route, not real sharp on some of those things. And then I thought a couple of the inside guys weren't very physical blocking, so we're going to get that fixed this week.
Is there any group that after Saturday's game you were disappointed in but had a chance to look back on the film and maybe change your mind about?
No, I feel like I had a pretty good feel for what occurred. The groups I was disappointed in were offensively. I thought the defensive second group came in and played okay, but offensively that second unit didn't play very well.
Coach, what did you see out of the two new guys on the line, Colin Hill and Andre Pipkins?
Physicality, they thought early they really were a force in there, jamming up the middle in some of those runs and winning their one-on-one battles, and that was good. They're two big, physical, tough guys. They play with a chip on their shoulder, and They have a lot of football built up after sitting out a year, and I think there's a lot of room for growth, which is encouraging.
Could you tell there was an energy about those two, just having sat out last year, not being on the football field for an entire season and watching the guys play from the sideline last year?
There's no doubt. That's not easy when you're having to run scout team and do that, and you come from places where you were a player and on the team, and now you're running a scout team. So definitely saw them eager, and I think they made the most of it. I think as they get in game shape and as they get more snaps under the belt, they're just going to get better and better.
Do you feel like the team was more physical overall in the opener, or not?
I thought defensively. I didn't think offensively. I didn't think offensively at all. We have some good playmakers that can make things happen in space. We have Pat. So we covered up a lot of things by just kind of, like I said, playing some street ball. But we got to get a lot better and tighten things up and be a lot more physical this week.
What did you think of your cornerback play?
Not bad. You know, this DJ's really his first full game of starting and playing corner, and he was physical and stuck his nose in there and made some plays on the football. And then Theory came up with a big-time interception. So they'll continue to get better, and we'll see how it goes. It'll be a big step up this week.
Did you feel like when they got ahead is when maybe they stopped being as physical, or was it?
No, it's when we took out the ones, I'd say. That hurt, and then even the ones and a lot of the things that we do in practice weren't doing it. I don't know if we were uninterested or just didn't feel like we needed to bring the physicality that we need to every week, but it wasn't very good when it comes to that.
That could be playing down to the competition?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it was just being scared or maybe we're not that physical. We'll find out, but we did not bring it Saturday offensively.
Are you talking offensive line blocking from the receivers? I mean, what exactly?
Yeah, both. Both. Offensive line was soft, and then the receivers, inside receivers, Cam Batson blocked well. Dylan Cantrell, some of the outside guys did some things, but a couple of those young inside guys, they caught some passes, scored some touchdowns, but they weren't very good blocking.
Ideally, the number is 0 for 0, but were you pleased with 7 penalties for under 50 yards on a team that's traditionally had some issues with that?
Offensively, I think we had 6 of them, so that wasn't good. It wasn't really good focus. The number of yards, I guess, was encouraging, but when you have 6 offensively, it's just lack of focus, a bunch of pre-snap penalties and things we got to clean up. So I wasn't happy with that part of it. Defensively, yes.
What's Sean Allen's status this week?
He will be playing.
What does he have?
Just a shoulder, banged up his shoulder.
Did you watch the game last night?
I did not. I was watching Narcos season 2. I didn't get to see it Friday, so I was on it hard yesterday.
What do you think of Corey Dolphin's run? Which, and obviously, people are excited about him.
Yeah, when he touches it, it's dynamic. There's a lot of other things we got to get him better at, and that's why we put him in, had to take him out for a little bit, talk him through some things. But when he has the ball in his hands, he's dynamic and physical and can run the football well. There's just a lot of other things that go into playing that position. And so we're working through that. He's young, works hard, does everything we say. We just got to get him more comfortable in our system.
Coach, anything Nick shouldn't have?
He did well. I think we had a couple of things that just were raggedy. We snapped the ball one time. We shouldn't have snapped it. He made a great throw to Ian that went through his hands and got an interception. But he made some good checks and had some adverse conditions with the way that line was blocking. And I thought he handled himself well. He had a good demeanor on the sideline, and so that was good to see.
Was there anything that surprised you the most looking back at the film? Just from what you saw?
I just think watching the film really showed me just how loose we were in a lot of areas. From what I've seen in practice, and I'm speaking for the offense right now, but what I've seen in practice is very tight, doing things right, doing the little things, and we got out away from that in the game. And so we got to tie that back in and play better Saturday.
How ready are you, feel like, to play? I mean, a team like Arizona State.
We're ready. We're ready. I think it's been good competition against each other all camp. I'd made mention of that during camp, and so I think that has prepped us to go against a solid Division I team.
have you seen from their defensive line and just a group that seems like they have some pretty good pieces on it?
They do. They had guys that can be disruptive, get upfield, solid in the run game. So it'll be a good challenge. From what I saw this past week, we're going to have to improve a lot up front.
When you look at your own team in Arizona State, do you see some similarities in both teams? At least the national perception is that they're middle of the road conference teams that are looking to break their way into that top half where they're competing for conference championships every year. Do you see a similarity in those?
I don't, but there may be. I don't really look into that type stuff, so I don't know.
Seems like your guys' type of offense, whether it be Dana or Sonny last year against Cal against Arizona State, you guys seem to like playing that type of defense. Is there a reason you guys have had success offensively against that?
I don't know. I mean, when I was at University of Houston, we played Tulsa when he was there and had some success, and he had some success. So I think it's all year to year and who you got and who he's got.
Special teams had to make you feel pretty good. Cameron Batson, 30 and 33-yard punt returns. Can you tell us if your expectations for that is to go forward is good?
I hope so. Coach Robinson, I think, brings a lot of experience, a calmness to that group. That was good. Cam's returning with a lot more confidence, and then I thought we covered kicks well. Punting, we got to get better at punting. We didn't punt the ball like we needed to. We hit it the wrong spot a couple times, and then Clayton made his kick, so that was encouraging.